3 a.m. A secret gym in Dubai. Conor McGregor just knocked out a former world champion in sparring, and someone recorded it. The footage leaked for 90 seconds before UFC lawyers deleted everything. But what it showed changes everything. Conor isn't just coming back, he's coming back for blood. And the target? The one man Dana White swore would never happen. The return that breaks the internet starts now. The encrypted message arrived on Dana White's phone at 4:17 a.m. Las Vegas time. No words, just a video file. 47 seconds that would force Dana to rewrite everything he thought he knew about Conor McGregor's future. The footage was grainy, clearly shot on a phone someone was trying to hide. A private gym in Dubai, the kind billionaires rent for $50,000 a week to train in complete secrecy. The lighting was harsh, industrial, and in the center of the frame, Conor McGregor was destroying someone. Not sparring, destroying. The opponent was later identified through leaked sources as a current top 10 UFC middleweight, name withheld because the NDA he signed was worth 7 figures. He outweighed Conor by 25 pounds. None of it mattered. Conor's left hand, the hand that had knocked out Jose Aldo in 13 seconds, that had made Eddie Alvarez look like an amateur, was moving with a speed that defied his 3-year absence and 2 catastrophic leg breaks. The combination that ended the session came so fast the camera barely captured it. Left jab to the body, step left, shovel uppercut, straight left hand to the temple. The middleweight went down like someone had cut his power cord, stiff, unconscious before he hit the mat. Conor stood over him for 3 seconds, didn't celebrate, didn't showboat, just stared. Then he looked directly at the camera, someone had told him it was recording, and said 4 words that would leak within hours despite every NDA, every threat, every legal barrier the UFC could construct. "Tell Khabib I'm ready." The video was deleted from every platform within 90 seconds of appearing online. UFC lawyers moved with unprecedented speed, issuing takedown notices, threatening lawsuits, even allegedly paying 5 figures to have Reddit threads scrubbed. But the internet is forever. Screenshots existed. WhatsApp groups exploded. The 4 words spread like wildfire. "Tell Khabib I'm ready." The problem, the massive, explosive, impossible problem, was that Khabib Nurmagomedov had been retired since October 2020. He'd promised his mother he would never fight again after his father's death. He'd turned down $100 million offers. He'd become a coach, a businessman, a philosopher of the sport who seemed genuinely at peace walking away undefeated at 29-0. Dana White had publicly stated repeatedly that Khabib would never return. It's over, he's done, respect his decision. But now, according to sources who spoke on condition of anonymity to multiple MMA journalists, something had changed. Something that began 3 months ago in a private meeting in Abu Dhabi that wasn't supposed to happen. September 2024, the Etihad Towers. A penthouse suite overlooking the Persian Gulf that costs $12,000 per night. Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov were in the same room for the first time since their post-fight brawl 6 years earlier. No cameras, no media, no entourages. Just 2 men, a translator, though both speak English fluently, Khabib preferred precision, and a proposal that would become the worst-kept secret in combat sports. What was said in that room has been the subject of intense speculation. But according to someone with direct knowledge of the meeting, a source so close to the situation they refused to speak even off-record except through encrypted channels, the conversation lasted 4 hours and ended with both men agreeing to something unprecedented. A rematch, but not in the UFC, and not under normal circumstances. The proposal, allegedly structured by Saudi Arabian investors with unlimited resources and a desire to host the biggest combat sports event in history, was staggering in scope. $300 million guaranteed to each fighter, win or lose, double what Mayweather-Pacquiao generated in purses. The event would take place in a purpose-built stadium in Riyadh, capacity 80,000, with production value that would make Super Bowl halftime shows look modest. PPV price point, $99.99 in the United States, with projected global buys exceeding 5 million. But here's where the proposal became truly insane. The fight wouldn't be scheduled until both men agreed they were in their absolute primes again. No timeline, no deadline, just a mutual commitment that when both felt ready, truly ready, not promotional ready, but championship level ready, the fight would happen. Khabib's alleged condition: Conor had to prove he was the 2016 version again, not the brawler who got submitted, not the wounded star chasing paychecks, the killer who dismantled Alvarez, the precision striker who made Chad Mendes quit. That Conor McGregor. Conor's alleged condition: no belt on the line, no UFC politics, no drug testing complications. Just two men settling what should have been settled 6 years ago if post-fight riots and personal hatred hadn't consumed the narrative. The Dubai training footage? That was Conor's message, not to fans, not to UFC, to Khabib. I'm getting there. Watch me. But Dana White didn't get a $12 billion sale of the UFC, letting his biggest stars operate independently. The moment he saw that leaked footage, he knew he had exactly one move: hijack the narrative before the story controlled him. Behind the scenes, according to sources familiar with the negotiations, absolute chaos. Conor's team wanted creative freedom, partial ownership of the event, and unprecedented financial terms. UFC wanted standard champion contract terms and promotional control. And lurking in the background like a ghost, the Saudi proposal, which could make both UFC and Conor wealthy beyond imagination, but would require Khabib's cooperation. The complication nobody saw coming: Khabib was apparently considering it. Multiple sources close to Khabib's camp reported that the undefeated champion had been training, not coaching, training, privately, in Dagestan. The same mountain roads that his father had trained him as a child, the same brutal conditioning that had made him an unstoppable force. One source, a training partner who spoke anonymously to a Russian sports outlet, claimed Khabib looked like 2018 again, maybe better, definitely angrier. Angrier about what? Nobody would say directly, but reading between the lines of various interviews Khabib had given over the past year, there seemed to be genuine frustration about how his rivalry with Conor had ended. Not the fight itself. Khabib had dominated that, submitted Conor in the 4th round, proved definitively who was better. But the aftermath, the brawl, the suspensions, the way it all devolved into chaos instead of standing as a definitive statement about skill and discipline triumphing over hype and trash talk. Khabib had wanted to prove a point about respect, about discipline, about the Dagestani way being superior to the Irish Carnival Act. Instead, the post-fight riot had overshadowed everything. Years later, people remembered the brawl more than the submission. That apparently bothered Khabib more than anyone understood. So the alleged Saudi proposal had a psychological hook beyond just money: redemption, a chance to face Conor again when both were truly ready, in an environment controlled enough that the fight itself, not the surrounding chaos, would define the narrative. Meanwhile, Conor's team was leaking their own breadcrumbs. Photos of Conor looking shredded appeared on social media. Videos of him hitting pads with Owen Roddy, his longtime striking coach, showing combinations that hadn't been seen since his featherweight days. His training partners started posting cryptic messages: "The king is back, and 2025 is going to be insane." But the most telling leak came from an unexpected source. Dee Devlin, Conor's longtime partner and mother of his children, posted an Instagram story in late November showing Conor reviewing fight footage on a laptop at 3 a.m. The footage, visible for just a few frames, was the first Khabib fight. Conor was taking notes. The sports betting world noticed immediately.
odds for Conor's return appeared on international sportsbooks. Opponent speculation ran wild. Michael Chandler, the original opponent before injuries derailed everything. Justin Gaethje, a war waiting to happen. Even absurd suggestions like Logan Paul, which Conor's team immediately dismissed as disrespectful nonsense. But the odds that really moved, Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov 2. Despite Khabib being retired, despite no official announcement, despite Dana White's insistence it would never happen, the odds were listed and the money coming in was substantial. Something was happening. Everyone in the industry knew it. The question was whether the UFC could maintain control or whether this was about to become the first truly independent superfight in modern MMA history. Then came the December development that changed everything. A press release from Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority announced a historic combat sports event scheduled for September 2025 in Riyadh. No fighters named, no promotion specified, just a date, a location, and a guarantee: the biggest fight